Guess what, everybody? We are excited because Razor Clam season looks like it got approved with some dates that are coming up from now all the way until the end of the year when New Year's hits. So wife and I are excited because some dates lined up on my days off, and I got approval to get another weekend to get in there and do some razor clam digging. So we're gonna probably do about 5 separate digging weekends or whatever. So we wanted to kind of go over some of the gear that we use for us to go out razor clam digging, and we're also going to do some digs where we do some techniques, because when my wife and I got into this with some friends, we had to research and we had to figure out like the best way to get the clams, and it seemed like daytime, nighttime, you know, tides going out and everything, we had to really adapt to how we could get the razor clams. So we're going to kind of show you our tricks that we do to kind of help you guys in the future for razor clam digging. So my wife and I are both part Asian, so we really got to kick into the Asianness to help, you know, harness the harvesting and the fishing. So we're going to help share some of our tricks with you guys. Now, if my wife could tilt the camera just down a little bit. Okay. So what I do for my PPE, or you know, to help to protect me with what I use, is one of the best things that my wife got me for razor clam digging was these set of waders, totally airtight, totally waterproof. These were about, how much do you think these were? These were like 160, 180 bucks, something like that.
I don't know if it was that high.
I want to say I thought they were at least 150 bucks. And these were great. You can get these at like Bass Pro, Cabela's, Sportsman's Warehouse. What I do to combine with these for my footwear is I get a pair of old tennis shoes that I don't care if they get wet, trash, sand, and I'll put these on and put my tennis shoes on there so I can still walk around and protect the bottom of these from getting holes in them. Not only that, it's got a pocket in the front, so when the game warden kind of comes up and asks you if you got your license and everything, you got this pocket, you can pull out your license, throw your cell phone in there, whatever. What I use for a top layer is I go with the cheap rain gear, and I have 2 of these. I have one that unzips in the front, and I have one that's pretty much like the poncho. This is the poncho one. I prefer to use the one that zips in the front, but I don't have it here right now. So, but these are great. They're like 15 bucks, and they seem to last forever. So here's the poncho version. Also has a pocket on the front to stuff your fishing license and everything in. A couple drawstrings for the hood. Hood is great because sometimes we find it is dumping rain while we're out there and digging. Always want to get a cheap waterproof watch, because you need to be able to keep track of your tides and know when the tide is start coming in by keeping track of your time. A hat to put my headlamps on. A pair of gloves that are insulated, so even if these ones get wet, my hands still are pretty dry. And digging in the sand without gloves, it kind of sucks. You get in the sand and everywhere in your fingernails. These are great. These are going to kind of help protect your hands a little bit. With headlamps, we have a lot of LED option headlamps, and I went with the rechargeable ones, so you can recharge them in your hotel room and get them ready for the next night. Because what I find, typically these headlamps last probably about, I want to say, with all your lights on to illuminate the ground, these probably last about an hour before you start seeing them, you know, pretty much start dimming down and getting really faint. So I have a lot of headlamps. Not only that, sometimes we have friends like their headlamps die and they need some headlamps, so I always bring a couple extra. These ones are battery, obviously, you know, and they're a little bit more on the cheap. But these ones, we looked on Amazon to get some really good ones where you can have all the lights on and really illuminate the ground around you, so you can help identify where the razor clams are at. And what they do is they just take a couple of these batteries, and you could charge up to 4 of these at a time in the unit. These are an 18650 3.7 volts lithium battery. You can get them on Amazon. They're not too expensive. For me, what I put my clams in is I have a snorkel bag that fin snorkel mask came in, and I just repurposed it so I can just sling it behind me and throw the clams in my bag. My wife, she's got a bucket with one of those dollar store little mesh baskets that she'll throw it in, and then we can put like an extra flashlight or anything in there. That way, if one of my friends or myself or one of the headlamps dies, then we have an extra light that we can help look for the clams. So for marking myself and my wife, we carry glow sticks, because there has been times where we have went out and dug, and we hear the next day that a woman on our beach and a woman on the other beach got washed out at sea. So even though my wife and I are not side by side 100% of the time, I may go a little bit more in the water. She'll kind of stay a little bit backwards, safer. If I can look back and I can see that she's got a glow stick on, I know that's her. And if something's going on and she's got a whistle and a light and everything, so if I know someone's blowing a whistle, I have to assume my wife is asking me to turn around, pay attention, figure out what's going on, help her stand up. Maybe somebody's trying to steal her clams or whatever. So always carry shoelaces and lanyards for glow sticks. The beacons for marking our vehicle. There are tons of vehicles lined up on the beach, way up in the parking area. And what we've noticed is it's hard to kind of find your vehicle at night. So what we do is I light the dashboard up, and I have multiple blinking lights going, so we could help find our own vehicle. And I went out and bought a couple of different lights. It's hard to see right now because of how bright it is, but I usually have the whole dashboard lit up to try to make our vehicle stand out a little more, because we don't want to end up lost at night trying to find our vehicle. These are great. These are what you could wear on your backpack or back if you're biking, and to help motorists find you. These run on just a couple of AA batteries. Cheap, great, they last forever. This guy, I found it on Amazon. It's rechargeable. I try to get everything as rechargeable as possible so we can charge it up in the hotel room for the next day. Magnets on it. It's actually got a flashlight on there too, so you can take it out there and it's not gonna get ruined. It'll be waterproof and stuff like that. This guy here, we got this one on REI. This is actually meant for your dog collar. So if your dog is running around at night, you can put a light on him. It has green, blue, and red options. It's also rechargeable, so you can also just charge it up whenever. Let's see. So the whole point is being able to find the vehicle, so we put a lot of lights in the dashboard. Let's go over a couple of the guns. So this is my wife's first razor clam gun. Her father gave this to her. Then I bought her, let's see, a newer version, one of the Clam Hawks. And this is a dream. These are so nice and smooth when you're digging, and I'll have her start with this and I'll use the harder to use one. And then after a while it's like, okay, let me catch us up and let's get the clams, so let me switch. But what I did is I bought us a couple of newer ones, taller ones, so you're not breaking your back, bending over and digging the plug and then checking the hole because it's not in your plug or whatever the deal is. So I got us a couple of taller ones, so we bring them both sets, because if one of these break down or something like that, we have some backup ones. And not only that, we've had one of the guns break, and I contacted the company and I sent them down and they got it fixed up right away, mailed it right back to us. And so these are great guns. I would definitely say spend the money on getting these. You can get one of these for probably, I want to say $120 to probably $150. That's probably including shipping and handling, but great company. The guy will even meet you out part way or something if you're near there. But I usually just pay the extra to have him ship it right to me. So my wife is going to go over some of her PPE that she's got on to kind of describe, because my comfort level and her comfort level are different. So I want her to be comfortable so we can be out there, till we get our limit. So she's going to go over her stuff.
So these are my essentials. I shut down if I get cold. I hate being cold and I hate being wet, and that's what happens when you raise clam dig in the Pacific Northwest in the fall. So for me, the essentials when we started out was a pair of rain pants that I think we picked up at REI. So I put these over jeans or leggings, something like that, for the rain. I have a good kind of infinity scarf that I wrap around a couple times on my neck. And then this guy I really like. It's basically like a ninja hood. So covers the neck. So I got my ninja hood, and that helps keep my ears and my neck and everything from the wind. We started out with like the hot hands, but those are crap. They don't have enough coverage. They don't get hot enough for me. So I invested and got these.
You're talking about those packets that you have to shake
the hot
and
hands, yeah.
yeah, and once they get wet, they're like done.
So I got these gloves probably off of Amazon. They have a little battery in there, and they have different like high, medium, and low, and I'm usually always on high. They last the dig. I actually use them to pick up the clams and everything, so I'm not too worried. I'm not really getting in the hole and in the water, so I'm just kind of picking the clams out, so that's not too much of an issue. So those have been a game changer, and I really love those. Got to have the good wellies, and have to be cute and stylish too at the same time. So got these extra tough, the Salmon Sisters there, with the cute print on the inside. So I've got those, and then I had gotten these heated insoles for my feet because my feet also get cold, but what I learned from this was you can't get your foot in there. By the time you put in the insoles, there's not enough room, so you probably have to go a size larger with the boots if you were to use the insoles. So that didn't quite work out for me. So just sharing that. And then this guy I have not tried yet, but I'm excited to try this year. I think I got it on one of those Amazon Black Friday deals, so it was a pretty good price, but it's a heated vest. So again, I'm upping my comfort level with the heated options. So that's my PPE. And this is how we tell my car from all the others. All the other blinky red lights, but we've got the party car. Pew, pew.